This is a project that will discuss the different aspects as to why NBA, the National Basketball Association, has led to a market failure in the basketball industry in the United States of America. Most importantly, me and my partner will be looking into how NBA has reached an almost perfect monopoly in the business, eradicating most of their competition or completely dominating the remaining ones. We will be focusing on how MBA utilizes price discrimination, barriers to entry, and research and development to stay on top of the industry and dwarf any prospective competition. We will provide general figures about salaries and promotions in MBA and several economic graphs to explain the behavior of MBA as a monopoly and to back up our thesis that it is indeed a market failure. Furthermore, we will briefly describe one of their only existing competitors in the United States, the newly created ABA, American Basketball Association, to draw critical comparisons which will aid our case. And will also provide ways for the government to correct this market failure.
The NBA was started on June 6, 1946, with 18 teams. With the NBA rapidly growing, a new rival organization started, the ABA, the American Basketball Association. This started in 1967 and soon merged with the NBA in 1976 to start a bigger league. With that merger, the NBA exponentially growed. Today, the NBA has 30 teams. With a league revenue of $3.2 billion, basketball is now considered the second most popular sport.
Here are some key definitions that you need to know in order to understand our analysis. Market failure occurs where markets do not work well or not work at all. Monopoly, with a type of market structure where there is a single supplier who supplies the whole industry. A merger, the joining of two entities. Market share, the percentage of the total market or total market segment captured by the producer. Price discrimination, the practice of charging higher prices to some customers and not others for identical goods or services where there is no difference in cost. Barriers to entry, obstacles placed to make it difficult for firms to enter an industry and provide competition to already existing firms. Consumer surplus, the difference between the amount of a consumer is willing to pay for a commodity and the amount that is actually paid. Price elasticity, the responsiveness of demand supply of a good or service to a change in price.
With the basketball market being a monopoly, the market has failed. Given monopoly power, the NBA has producer sovereignty, meaning that producer power is maximized. Prices are kept high, leading to loss of consumer surplus, and with its hold over the basketball talent, NBA is also able to have price discrimination. The NBA is also able to keep up barriers to entry that let leagues in, but it doesn't let them have enough significance. One of the reasons why this market failure is because of the high prices. This is shown in this graph. MC is the marginal cost, AC the average cost, AR the average revenue, and MR the marginal revenue. At pre-merger levels, the NBA were selling season tickets at $164 P1 and producing at output Q1. Following monopolization, the NBA could now charge up to $10,000 for season tickets, shifting price to P2 and output to Q2. Due to high prices, this leads to a loss in consumer surplus. Before monopolization, consumer surplus, the area with red stripes, and the blue striped producer surplus, which is the difference between a producer's total revenue and the opportunity cost of production, are almost equal, meaning that none are being taken advantage of. Following monopolization, price goes up to P2, meaning that the equilibrium has shifted upward. Now there's clearly a higher producer surplus compared to consumer surplus, and this is shown with the losses consumer surplus has taken. The line with both red and blue stripes demonstrates the amount of consumer surplus lost. Another sign of market failure is the NBA's ability to use price discrimination. Due to its hold over the basketball supply, the NBA could now choose how much each customer must spend. This is shown in this graph. This graph is divided between three graphs, which shows the price disparities between the tickets of Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. These two have differing elasticity. With the Thunder being a relatively new team, it is price elastic for its area. meaning that the demand is very responsive to its price. In comparison, the Lakers are one of the premier teams and its demand is price inelastic, meaning that the demand is less responsive to a change in price. This is shown with the relative slopes of the demand. The Thunder have a flat-like slope, while the Lakers is very steep. In the first graph, it shows that the Thunder sells tickets at around $50. The Lakers can sell tickets at around $90. These two are combined in the third graph, which shows the price discrimination with the kink in MRA plus B.
Now we'll be discussing barriers to entry. One of the biggest barriers to entry that the NBA provides is the incredibly high salaries each team is willing to pay for their players. Even though the salary cap for the season 2009-2010 is set to be $57.7 million, some teams still manage to pump out salaries reaching up to $22 million, like in the case of a player named Tracy McGrady. With such sky-high salaries, high-quality players are very likely to choose to play in the NBA rather than, for example, the ABA, where the salary cap is a mere $25,000. Another overwhelming barrier to entry in the industry is the advertisement and promotion of the NBA, not just in the United States but around the world. NBA matches are televised regularly, having whole channels dedicated to them. Furthermore, their logo is plastered in office buildings, on the side of Gatorade bottles, and individuals are bombarded by it daily. Another very strong barrier to entry is the fact that NBA has an extensive talent scouting program. The fact that they have the power to discover the talented and future stars of America before any of their competitors puts them significantly ahead and allows them to hold a tight grip on the almost perfect monopoly they currently possess in the United States. Yeah.
With these many examples of market failure, it has shown that the market has failed in the proper allocation of resources. This could lead to government intervention to fix this. Here are three methods that the government can use to lessen the NBA's hold over the basketball market. Profit taxes can be imposed on monopolists to remove supernormal profits that may not be accepted by customers. This will, however, not lessen the problem of the misallocation of resources. The government can also limit profits and impose price controls on monopolies through a body such as an industry watchdog. A maximum price can be set at the level of economic efficiency. The government can also lessen the entry barriers, stopping other firms from entering the industry, allowing market forces to break up the monopoly. The government can offer temporary support to any newly created leagues in order for them to have a chance against the NBA. While the NBA has flaws, it has also shown that it could be beneficial to society, with one of these being research and development.
We'll discuss research and development. NBA has made sure that they will always pull out the most talented players the nation has to offer by having numerous camps for children to promote their league and increase skill level. With the accumulation of talent, the NBA has produced a higher quality product rather than having more than one league. Also, the NBA has created several rules to make it more entertaining in order to gain more customers. One of these is the 24-second shot clock, which forces teams to be faster and more agile.
With the NBA being an almost pure monopoly, we have seen that the NBA contains many of the characteristics that say that it is market failure. The NBA keeps its ticket prices high, meaning that consumer surplus is lessened, and also that producer surplus is increased. The NBA also participates in price discrimination, meaning that its prices differ from each customer. There will always be different customers willing to pay different prices for a product, and this is shown as the prices between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Laker games differ by almost $40. The NBA also places high barriers to entry. With their solid base and strong financial footing, the NBA can always outlast any competing club. While these show that the market is flawed, there are several ways in which the government can act to stop this, such as taxation and price control. While these methods could work, it is debatable whether the government would actually take any action. The NBA is deeply rooted into the American psyche, and it has shown that it could provide a better product by staying in one league than in having more than one league. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and hope that you have gained a better insight into monopolies and how the NBA fits as being a market failure.